Hello, and today's learning target is I can find the x and y intercepts of an equation. So to find the x-intercept, we want to plug in 0 for the y and solve for x. So I'm going to highlight that because that's very important. And to find the y-intercept, we will plug in 0 for the x and solve for y. So I'll highlight that as well. So what we want to do to find a certain intercept is we want to plug in 0 for the opposite variable and then solve for the variable we initially wanted to find the intercept for. So let's take a look at a few examples and we'll find the x and y intercepts of the following equations. Okay, so let's take a look here at this first example. 2x plus 4y equals 16. So let's find the x-intercept first. And so what I'll do is I'll write 2x plus 4 times 0 equals 16, and now I want to solve for x. So 4 times 0, anything times 0 is just 0, so I get 2x equals 16, divide by 2, so x equals 8. Now this is an intercept, which means it's an ordered pair, so we want to write our final answers in ordered pair form. So here it would be 8, 0. So again, when x is 8, y is 0. Now to find the y-coordinate, we are going to plug in 0 for x and solve for y. So here I have 2 times 0 plus 4y equals 16, and anything times 0 is just 0. So I get 4y equals 16, divide by 4. So here, y equals 4. And again, this is an intercept or an ordered pair, a point, so we need to write this as an ordered pair. So I'll write my final answer as 0, 4, because when x is 0, y is 4. Okay, let's look at this next example. So y equals negative 6x minus 6, so let's find the x-intercept first. And I will say 0 equals negative 6x minus 6. And so I'm going to add 6 to both sides because I want to isolate my variable x. And those cancel out, so I'm left with 6 equals negative 6x divided by negative 6, and 6 divided by negative 6 is negative 1. So x would equal negative 1. So again, as an ordered pair, this would be negative 1, 0. Now if I look at the y-intercept, I will say y equals negative 6 times 0 minus 6. Anything times 0 is 0, so here y equals negative 6. So as an ordered pair, I have 0, negative 6. Okay, let's continue on. Okay. Let's look at negative x plus 2y equals 3. So I'll find the x-intercept first. So negative x plus 2 times 0 equals 3. Anything times 0 is 0. So I have negative x equals 3. But I can't leave my variable being negative, so I'll divide everything by a negative 1. And so I get x equals negative 3. So as an ordered pair, this is negative 3, 0. All right, and for the y-intercept, I have negative 1 times 0, right? I know there's a negative right here, but that's really like a negative 1. So negative 1 times 0 plus 2y equals 3. Anything times 0 is 0. So 2y equals 3. I divide by 2, so y equals 3 halves. And really, 3 halves is 1 1/2. So I could write, 0, 1.5 or 0, 1 1/2. Anything like that would be just fine, because it might be easier to think about 3 halves as 1 1/2 if you were to graph that, then graph that intercept. So it might be easier to think about, so I'll change that there to 1 1/2. So my x-intercept and y-intercept of that equation. Let's take a look at our final example. Okay, y equals 3x plus 30. So I'll go ahead and find the x-intercept first, and 0 equals 3x plus 30. I'll subtract 30 to the other side and get negative 30 equals 3x. Divide by 3 because I want to solve for x. So x equals negative 10. So as an ordered pair, this would be negative 10, comma, 0. All right, the y-intercept now would be y equals 3 times 0 plus 30. Anything times 0 is 0, so y equals 30, so 0, comma, 30. So again, this video was on finding the x and y intercepts from an equation, and we simply do this. Again, this was stated at the beginning of the notes by plugging in 0 for the opposite variable and solving for that intercept. And then don't forget to write your final answer in ordered pair form. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Bye-bye.